Show you how the entire community is struggling.
Netflix raises the rates as the streaming wars escalate. So what's behind the price hike and why Netflix is betting customers won't be turned off?
Plus, an experimental treatment could be life-changing for the millions of patients with MS. Two women show us how one stem cell transplant kept their disease under control for years.
But we begin this morning with a look at today's eye-opener. Your world in 90 seconds.
This is a hell of a lot of rain.
Wave upon wave of heavy rain.
For any homeowner, it's scary. We know that it's going to get worse.
Fire-ravaged California braces for more rain.
This is going to be a serious situation.
If everybody leave, I'm not leaving.
An American citizen was killed after gunmen stormed a hotel in Nairobi, Kenya. A horrific terror attack went on for hours.
When the president invited rank-and-file Democrats to the White House, they rejected that invitation to discuss the border wall and end the shutdown.
On Capitol Hill, Attorney General nominee William Barr said the Mueller investigation should continue unimpeded.
If someone tried to stop a lawful investigation, I would resign.
After lawmakers defeated her Brexit deal, Britain's prime minister faces a no-confidence vote.
So this House can give its verdict on the sheer incompetence of this government.
Rihanna is now suing her father for soliciting millions of dollars to book her for shows without her authorization.
All that.
One bird wanted to fly human-style in the business class cabin of a Singapore Airlines flight.
The airline was okay with it because the bird's a frequent flyer.
And all that matters.
I'm just curious, do you have anything you would like to announce?
Yes. Senator Kirsten Gillibrand has thrown her hat in the ring.
I'm filing an exploratory committee for President of the United States
Tonight.
On CBS This Morning.
The LA teacher strike is now heading into its third day with both sides digging in their heels.
For the federal government, this strike is a chance to kill two birds with one stone.
Children of all ages are needed to fill gaps during the government shutdown.
I'm a TSA agent. Spread up. I'm a federal meat inspector. Looks good. I'm a prison guard. Get back in your cell, murderer. Come play hooky with us. It almost feels like it's coming to this. Who is going to be in charge? I often think if the people that were making the decision weren't getting paid too,
they would come to a decision.
They would come, wouldn't they, Nora? Absolutely. They would come to a decision very quickly if you had to lose your salary too.
Now
it's not right.
It's very upsetting that members of the Coast Guard will not be.
Exactly. That happens
more
today.
Americans. We'll have more on that in just a minute.
And wait till you go to the airport. It's not fun. Welcome to CBS This Morning. A powerful winter storm hitting the West Coast forced hundreds of people from their homes across a wide area of Southern California. A wall of mud triggered by heavy rain damaged houses in Encino, that's northwest of Los Angeles. The downpour sent rivers of mud, rock, and debris down roads near Malibu last night. The storm delivered more than 2 feet of snow to the Sierra Nevada. Cars and trucks spun off Interstate 80, which is still closed in some areas this morning.
And residents are bracing for even more severe weather. They've got 2 more days of heavy rain and blizzard conditions that are expected in California before that storm takes aim at the East Coast this weekend. Lonnie Quinn, chief weathercaster of our New York station WCBS, is tracking the storm's path. Lonnie, good morning. This is an interesting one.
Yeah, it sure is. And, you talk about that situation in California. I think the worst has yet to come. It's going to get really rough out there over the next couple of days. Look at this from the National Weather Service. They're saying 3 to 5 inches is the operative number for California. That's 3 to 5 inches of rain at the coast, more mudslides possible, 3 to 5 feet of snow in the Sierra. Now, for the East Coast city, this is going to start as snow. It's going to change over to rain. It's going to go back to snow. The question, this is the big question, how long will each one of those stages last? And then brutally cold air. We know this for sure. Brutally cold air comes in right after or as it's actually transitioning out of the area. So, you could be dropping 30 degrees in 12 to 18 hours. How much snow are we picking up? Well, you take a look at how this whole thing is going to progress. This blue color going through Indianapolis over towards Columbus is about 6 inches of snow. We also think it'll be about 6 inches of snow for some of the East Coast cities like New York up to Boston. And I realize the models have been wavering. They've been going back and forth, but they've been holding true with the biggest numbers being inland, north and west. Places like the Mohawk Mountains in New York, all the way through northern New England could see 2 feet of snow. And then this pink color shows you the 0-degree readings that will be dropping in on top of whatever is either snow or rain it's going to freeze really quickly come late Sunday night into early Monday morning. Tough travel out there. I guess the only thing you can say is folks aren't commuting necessarily because it is a holiday come Monday morning. But this is a real tough and dangerous storm. John, let's go over to you.
All right, Lonnie, thank you. When you say things like brutally cold, it's not good.
Wait till you see. This is going to wake everybody up on the East Coast.
All right, well, I head to the grocery store and start stocking up. Thanks, Lonnie. The partial government shutdown is beginning its 26th day with no negotiations planned to end it. A new White House analysis shows the deadlock is hurting U.S. economic growth at twice the rate previously estimated. Part of the reason? Less spending by the 800,000 federal workers who are not being paid. The U.S. Coast Guard commandant tweeted a statement saying this: "This marks the first time in our nation's history that service members in a U.S. armed force have not been paid during a lapse in appropriations."
So unfortunate. And this morning, the administration is recalling some 50,000 federal employees to work without pay. They include flight safety workers and food inspectors, as well as nearly 60% of Internal Revenue Service staff. That's nearly 46,000 IRS employees. They're needed to handle tax returns and refunds. Carter Evans spoke with one IRS worker in Ogden, Utah, the city that has the highest concentration of federal workers in the West. Now, he found that the shutdown's impact goes far beyond the furloughed employees who live there. Carter, we're seeing the ripple effects. Good morning.
Good morning. Behind me, the city proudly displays its slogan that it pays to live in Ogden. Well, that's pretty ironic now, considering this shutdown is causing a lot of economic damage here, and not just for the some 5,000 federal workers who call Ogden home.
Sandwiched between federal buildings, normally bustling businesses like Anna Davidson's restaurant are now practically empty.
Every week that it goes on longer, it gets slower, and it's just disheartening. 90% of downtown relies on the federal workers that are down here for breakfast and lunch.
Business is down by half, forcing her to dig into savings to pay her employees. Furloughed IRS employee Emily Roush has gone from dining downtown to delivering meals for DoorDash, driving a car with a broken heater and taking home a quarter of her normal salary.
It's not going to pay all the bills, but at least it's going to buy us groceries and put gas in our vehicles. So
whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes, yeah.
With so many not getting a paycheck at all, Ogden Mayor Mike Caldwell says the local economy is struggling.
People that would typically come down here and go to movies and take their families out are finding ways they can really cut their expenses.
Ogden might have to do that too. Declining sales leads to a loss of tax revenue, which could mean cutbacks for this city of nearly 90,000.
It could be in the millions of dollars, which would be devastating for a community our size. So it's a big, big deal.
A big deal with no end in sight. The president says he's holding out for funding for his proposed border wall and predicted the shutdown could last for months.
I'm hoping that they come to an agreement and we just get back to work.
Later today, some 300 IRS workers here in Ogden will start getting calls to come back to work, but they're still not going to be paid. Emily tells us if she gets the call to come back to work, she's still going to have to keep her second job because she's got to keep some sort of money coming in. Gail?
Boy, Carter, thank you very much. President Trump's nominee for Attorney General is defending Robert Mueller's Russia investigation, saying he will let it finish. William Barr repeatedly promised senators during yesterday's confirmation hearing that he will be independent.
I will not be bullied into doing anything I think is wrong. If I was ever asked to do something that I thought was unlawful and directed to do that, I wouldn't do it, and I would resign rather than do it.
Nancy Cordes is on Capitol Hill, outside the room where the hearing continues today. Nancy, good morning to you. What did Mr. Barr say about making the special counsel's report public yesterday?
Well, he was actually asked about that, Gail, over and over again, and he said he was committed to transparency, but he would not commit to releasing Mueller's findings in full at the end of the investigation. He said that he and Mueller are longtime friends, that he doesn't believe that Mueller is on a witch hunt, as the president so often claims. But last June, Barr did send an unsolicited memo to DOJ officials slamming the Mueller investigation, which caused some Democrats to openly wonder in the hearing if he's already biased against the investigation. Now, Barr wouldn't commit to recusing himself from the investigation. He said that is up to him, not DOJ ethics officials, but still the chair of this committee does expect him to be confirmed.
All right, Nancy, thank you so much. Another candidate is joining the 2020 Democratic presidential race. New York Senator Kirsten Gillibrand took the first step last night on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert here on CBS.
Well, I'm going to run for president of the United States because as a young mom, I'm going to fight for other people's kids as hard as I would fight for my own, which is why I believe that health care should be a right and not a privilege.
Gillibrand is now the 4th Democrat and 2nd woman to officially jump in after Senator Elizabeth Warren, former Housing Secretary Julian Castro, and ex-Congressman John Delaney. Actually, he's still, I think, a member of Congress, but 3 other female Democrats, Senator Amy Klobuchar, Kamala Harris, and Congresswoman Tulsi Gabbard, are also expected to run.
Britain's Prime Minister has her job on the line in a critical vote tonight after her plan to leave the European Union was thoroughly rejected. Front page headlines in London say Theresa May is fighting for her life and call yesterday's parliamentary vote a historic humiliation. Roxana Saberi is in London with the impact felt around the world. Roxana, good morning.
Good morning. The defeat was crushing and worse than anyone here expected. Now the government has just weeks to figure out another way forward.
The ayes to the right, 202. The noes to the left, 432.
The overwhelming defeat of Prime Minister Theresa May's Brexit deal.
It is clear that the House does not support this deal.
Plunges the United Kingdom into its deepest political crisis in living memory.
Every day that passes without this issue being resolved means more uncertainty, more bitterness and more rancour.
May has been negotiating a Brexit deal with the European Union for nearly 2 years. If she survives a vote of confidence set for today, she'll have to present an alternate plan by Monday or ask to delay the deadline. With just 72 days until the UK is scheduled to leave the EU, the landslide vote is causing even more economic uncertainty, especially if the country crashes out of Europe with no deal at all. The UK is the 4th largest export destination for American goods and services. If there's no Brexit deal, a weakened pound would make U.S. goods more costly to buy in the UK. The U.S. farming and manufacturing sectors could be hit hardest, with the biggest exports including aircraft and machinery, as well as wine and beer, tree nuts, and live animals. Shankar Singham works for the Institute of Economic Affairs.
Why should Americans care in terms of their economy?
If this continues, then we're going to have another recession. We're going to have another depression. It's going to mean jobs lost. It's going to mean economic opportunity foregone.
For Americans as well.
For Americans, for the whole world.
The U.S. Chamber of Commerce says the stakes are high for American businesses that have invested in the UK as a way of accessing EU markets. Some of those companies have opened subsidiaries elsewhere in Europe to make sure they can keep doing business as usual. Bianna?
The stakes are high for the EU, which of course is the U.S.'s largest trading partner. So a lot of ramifications coming out of that. Roxana Saberi, thank you. Well, Kenya's president says a terror attack that lasted for 19 hours is over this morning. Attackers targeted a luxury hotel complex in Nairobi yesterday, killing at least 14 people. One of them is an American, identified as Jason Spindler. Deborah Pata is in Nairobi with the latest. Deborah, good morning.
Good morning. We're here at the city morgue where family members are lining up to identify loved ones. The blue vehicle you can see behind me has just arrived to transfer the body of Jason Spindler to a private funeral home. He ran a development agency here in Nairobi and, according to social media, was a 9/11 survivor. The attack began yesterday afternoon when militants stormed the Dusit Hotel and office complex, armed with bombs and guns. Chilling CCTV footage shows at least 4 gunmen hunting for prey. They moved with military precision through the complex, taking their time, firing indiscriminately along the way. Desperate office workers fled the scene, taking cover wherever they could. Some never stood a chance.
sporadic gunfire could still be heard at the complex earlier today, despite police claims they had everything under control, and scores of people were still being escorted to safety in the early hours of the morning. It was thought that at least one gunman remained on the loose. Authorities now say all the attackers have been killed. Survivors could hardly believe they'd made it out alive.
I don't have words. I just say thank God that we are okay.
And everyone had a nightmarish tale to tell.
And then gunshots were just being spread all over. From the top, I think they went to the top floor, and then they started spraying bullets.
The Al-Qaeda-linked Al-Shabaab group has claimed responsibility for the attack, the worst since they struck at the heart of the capital in 2013 at the Westgate Mall, which killed at least 67 people.
Such desperately sad scenes here at the city morgue as family members collapse in grief after identifying loved ones. The official death toll stands at 14, but looking at the numbers here, that could possibly rise. Gail?
Deborah Pacha reporting from Nairobi. Thank you. We are learning more about the suspect in the kidnapping of the Jamie Claus and the killing of her parents. Jake Patterson is his name. He was moved yesterday from Wisconsin's Barron County Jail to the jail in Polk County. That's about 30 miles away. The 21-year-old man is being held on $5 million bail. Jamie Yukas is at a church in Barron County, Wisconsin, where a prayer service will be held this weekend. Jamie, good morning to you.
Good morning. As new information comes in, we've noticed the mood in this community shift from joy to shock over the horrific details of Jamie Claus's kidnapping and the murder of both her parents. Now we are learning more about the suspect's last job before his alleged crimes.
Jake Patterson only worked at Saputo Cheese Factory for 2 days, but according to a criminal complaint, it was on his drive to work on one of those days that he spotted Jamie Claus getting on a school bus and decided he was going to kidnap her. The company told CBS News they fired Patterson when he failed to show up for his third day of work. According to the complaint, Patterson was plotting Jamie's abduction while still at the job. He bought a face mask at a Walmart on his last day, the same mask he allegedly wore during the October crimes. On Tuesday, Patterson was moved to the Polk County Jail because Jamie Claus's cousin, Lindsay Smith, works at the Barron County Jail. Smith spoke about Patterson with Gail King earlier this week.
Have you seen him?
I have not. I will not deal with him. I can't. I think it's fair on my end and his that we do not see each other.
The Marine Corps confirms that in 2015, Patterson was prematurely discharged from service after about a month. In a statement to CBS News, a spokesperson said it was indicative of the fact that the character of his service was incongruent with Marine Corps expectations and standards. While investigators work to determine Patterson's motive for the October crimes, the close-knit community that helped raise Jamie is beginning to heal. Patty Gerber taught Jamie's religious education class. She believes faith will help Jamie move forward.
Faith to know that she's loved by God, she's loved by others, she's perfect the way she is. I think that will help her.
A special prayer service for Jamie will be held here on Sunday. The prayer service is to also thank the community for all of its support. A larger celebration, though, is being planned for later this month, Nora.
All right, Jamie, and thank you for all your great reporting on this story. Netflix is raising prices for the 4th time in 5 years. Ahead, we're going to take a closer look at the monthly subscription model and why viewers are apparently willing to pay even higher prices. But first, it's 7:19. Time to check your local weather.
Hi, everybody. Going to be a nice day today. We are expecting temperatures to climb close to 40 degrees, which is a little bit better than average. The normal high for this time of year is 34. Partial sunshine and a bit milder than where we've been over the past couple of days. The sun is up at 7:16, sets at 4:46. Your 7-day forecast, well, it includes 2 storms. One tomorrow night through Friday morning. That could snarl up the Friday morning commute. And then a bigger storm rolls in Saturday night through Sunday with several different types of precipitation. That's a check of your early morning forecast. Have a great day, everyone.
should make.
Don't let cracked skin tell you what to wear. New Aveeno Cracked Skin Cica Ointment with shea butter and triple oat complex for fast relief and a protective barrier for lasting relief. Wear what you love. Aveeno.
Okay, we're doing this.
Enjoy made-from-scratch food everywhere Princess Cruises sails and come back new. Visit princess.com to sign up for special offers.
We have much more news ahead. The search intensifies for a mother of a 7-year-old who disappeared in Texas. The latest on a mystery that started after the mom said she was going to a movie.
Plus, YouTube changes its rules after too many Bird Box challenges went wrong. Why the site says it's time for users to stop endangering themselves.
Stop doing that. And how satellites will be able to track thousands of planes in the sky for the first time. Why it could allow more planes to fly and cut the delays. We're in favor. You're watching CBS This Morning.
Minimums and fees, they seem to be the very foundation of your typical bank. Capital One is anything but typical. That's why we designed Capital One Cafes. You can get savings and checking accounts with no fees or minimums, and one of America's best savings rates. To top it off, you can open one from anywhere in 5 minutes. This isn't a typical bank. This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Hi, I'm Bob Harper, and I recently had a heart attack. It changed my life, but I'm a survivor. After my heart attack, my doctor prescribed Brilinta. It's for people who have been hospitalized for a heart attack.
Brilinta is taken with a low-dose aspirin, no more than 100 milligrams, as it affects how well Brilinta works. Brilinta helps keep platelets from sticking together and forming a clot. In a clinical study, Brilinta worked better than Plavix.
Brilinta reduced the chance of having another heart attack or dying from one.
Don't stop taking Brilinta without talking to your doctor, since stopping it too soon increases your risk of clots in your stent, heart attack, stroke, and even death. Brilinta may cause bruising or bleeding more easily, or serious, sometimes fatal bleeding. Don't take Brilinta if you have bleeding, like stomach ulcers, a history of bleeding in the brain, or severe liver problems. Slow heart rhythm has been reported. Tell your doctor about bleeding, new or unexpected shortness of breath, any planned surgery, and all medicines you take.
If you recently had a heart attack, ask your doctor if Brilinta is right for you. My heart is worth Brilinta.
If you can't afford your medication, AstraZeneca may be able to help.
Online dating? I know people meet that way, but where would I even begin?
Open laptop, go to OurTime.com, look for free. It's easy to take a look on Our Time, the fastest growing dating site for people over 50.
Herb brined, fresh baked, and handcrafted with 100% clean ingredients. Just a few good reasons to give in to your cravings. Now delivering. Panera, food as it should be.
At Safe Flight Auto Glass, we know that when you're spending time with the grandkids, every minute counts. And you don't have time for a cracked windshield. That's why at Safe Flight, we'll show you exactly when we'll be there with a replacement you can trust. Well done, sir. Looks great. Thanks for choosing Safe Flight. Thank you. Bye. Bye. Saving you time so you can keep saving the world.
Safe Flight Repair. Safe Flight Replace.
How can fitness designed for everyone be the right fit for you? It can't. And that's why I'm here. I am Max, the artificial intelligence driving the new Bowflex Max trainer machine.
Here we go.
I'll learn your capabilities and adapt each day with personalized workouts unique to you to help you become stronger, fitter, and healthier. I am Max on the new Bowflex Max trainer. Hurry to Bowflex.com. The New Year sale ends January 31st.
To most, he's Phil Mickelson, pro golfer. To me, he's, well, Dad. So when his joint pain from psoriatic arthritis got really bad, it scared me. And what could that pain mean?
Joint pain could mean joint damage. Enbrel helps relieve joint pain, helps stop irreversible joint damage, and helps skin get clearer. Enbrel may lower your ability to fight infections, serious, sometimes fatal events, including infections, tuberculosis, lymphoma, other cancers, nervous system and blood disorders, and allergic reactions have occurred. Tell your doctor if you've been someplace where fungal infections are common, or if you're prone to infections, have cuts or sores, have had hepatitis B, have been treated for heart failure, or if you have persistent fever, bruising, bleeding, or paleness. Don't start Enbrel if you have an infection like the flu.
Since Enbrel, Dad's back to being Dad.
Visit Enbrel.com and use a joint damage simulator to see how your joint damage could be progressing.
Ask about Enbrel. Enbrel. FDA approved for over 16 years.
You're watching CBS This Morning.
Lauren was given a CAT scan and immediately found to have a substantial bleed in her brain. But the experience that we had with everybody that cared for her at Yale New Haven Children's Hospital was extraordinary. So what we see today and her on the ice and doing all that is really, honestly, miraculous and incredible.
With Cox, you can watch all your movies and shows, whatever the weather. With DirecTV, heavy rain or snow can affect your signal. It's clear that Cox is the better choice, just like it's clear that the makeup artist is still learning the ropes.
Unlike DirecTV, Cox works in any weather. Get Contour TV and high-speed internet for $89.99 a month.
Medical Rounds, helping your family live healthier with breakthroughs, leading-edge treatments, and health news you can really use from the local experts at Hartford Healthcare. Watch Medical Rounds, Wednesday nights at 5:30 on Eyewitness News.
Only one station has the team, the technology, and the truck. Introducing the all-new Early Warning Weather Tracker.
More cameras, the best tools. Tough enough to tackle any storm.
Sponsored by your Connecticut Chevy dealers on Eyewitness News. Now, your Channel 3 Early Warning Weather Morning Update.
Wait until you see the sunrise shots we've got out there for you. 727. Hi, everybody. Good morning. You need to bundle up. It's cold in parts of the state, especially northeast Connecticut. You've been colder all morning. 13 at Willimantic and 15 in Putnam. You've got 16 in Meriden. Then everybody else is in the low to mid to upper 20s, even 31 degrees in New Haven. So the numbers are a little wonky this morning. The winds are picking up a little bit out of the southwest, and they're going to be out of the southwest today, and that's going to move those temperatures up into the mid to upper 30s. Now, there is a bit of a breeze out there this morning, so that does make it feel a little bit cooler. Do you see this? Are you looking at this?
Look at that.
Isn't that amazing?
Be still my heart.
Be still my heart is right. And get ready for a storm that could be still your heart Thursday night into Friday morning.
Ooh, good one.
We are expecting 1 to 2 to possibly 3 inches of snow by the Friday morning commute, changing over to rain. And then another storm system rolls in Saturday night through Sunday, and that's a precipitory mess with several different types of precipitation, heavy at times. We'll keep you posted on that. 7:28 is now the time to close up next with traffic.
Now, Early Warning Pinpoint Traffic, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
All right, good morning, everyone. Right now, we continue to follow that crash in Waterbury. Remember, this is on Route 8 southbound, right between exits 34 and 33. Let me kind of step out of the way so you can get a better view of what's going on here. The right lane is still blocked. The delays are pretty bad. I've been watching these cameras for you. They're back around Watertown Ave, actually past that at that point. So you can see we are slammed as you're heading towards the Mixmaster. Now, the good news is I think they're in the process of starting to clear this, but the bad news is the damage is already done. So we will be dealing with residual delays once this is cleared. I'll keep an eye out on things for you there. Metro North Danbury branch still saying that they're operating with up to 40 minutes worth of delays due to some earlier mechanical issues, but all the other train lines are looking a-okay. Have a great day, everyone.
My teeth were in horrid condition. So I spent years talking like this. And then I found Aspen Dental. Having the denture lab on site, you can do everything there. I wish I had not waited 3 years, because the first time I stood in front of the mirror and I smiled, it felt like I was me again. And that was just the coolest feeling ever.
At Aspen Dental, we're all about yes. Like yes to same-day dentures with our on-site lab. Yes, dentures start at $3.99. And yes, we'll get you smiling in a day. Call 1-800-ASPEN-DENTAL today.
The latest innovation from Xfinity isn't just a store. It's a save more with a new kind of wireless network store. It's a look what your Wi-Fi can do now store. A get your questions answered by awesome experts store. It's a now there's one store that connects your life like never before store. The Xfinity store is here, and it's